Hi everybody, today I'm going to be talking about the second and third trimester and also the birth of my baby boy. I finally got a tripod, so that's good. I'm in the baby area and he's sleeping. But yeah, so the second trimester, it was alright. I was still throwing up a little bit, but it wasn't as bad as the first trimester. I actually had a lot of ultrasounds because I was young. I'm very, very small. Um, so I had a lot of ultrasounds. But that's when I found out the gender. I found out that he was a boy. So me and my boyfriend were thinking of names and all that, obviously. I said that if it was a girl, I would choose it, and if it was a boy, that he would choose it. So he was a boy. So he got to choose a name. He chose Elijah Emery. Elijah, he just liked that name, and Emery was his uncle who passed. But yeah, the third trimester, it was probably one of the best trimesters, just because I was so happy to get him out and to play with him, to cuddle him, just to see him. But it also was pretty bad because it was hurting me a lot. It was really, really hurting my ribs. He would always pop out my ribs. It was really hurting my back because of my scoliosis. So I was mostly bedridden. I couldn't really do much. But let's talk about a little bit more about how it all happened, how I felt. So, as I said, I was really excited to finally meet him and everything. I went into the doctor's, and the doctor was like, do you want to get induced because of all the pain that you're having? And I was like, I guess. So I went into the doctor's, and they were like, okay, we can set up a date. So they set up a date for me to be induced. It was 1 week later when I was 39 weeks, so I didn't quite make it to 40 weeks, but I made it 39 weeks. And then they just set it up from there. I went in that week to get induced. I was really nervous. I packed up all my stuff. I was ready to get him out, but I was really scared for the pain, obviously. And they say when you get induced, it hurts more than just a natural labor, because they have to give you all this medicine, they have to break your water and all that. So I went in, I got admitted, they gave me all the medicine, they tried to induce me with the Pitocin. It didn't work the first day, so I went in there at 7 a.m. and then I stayed overnight, didn't work. Then the next day I got induced again, and that one finally worked. So they gave me an IV in my arm. One was just for my fluids, all that stuff, and then the other one was for the Pitocin and everything to soften my cervix and all that. So they did all that, and they noticed that I wasn't doing very well, like I wasn't dilating or anything. So they had to do a bunch more things. They like put a balloon inside and all that. And they like blew it up with water, I guess, or air. I don't know if it was water or air. But then they would like pull it out, and then I guess it would soften your cervix or whatever. So they did all that. I got an epidural. The epidural wasn't bad. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, the epidural's the worst part. No, not for me. The beginning contractions without the epidural was bad. I got up to like 4 or 5 centimeters, and I needed oxygen. So they gave me a big mask to put over my nose and mouth, and I would breathe in oxygen. And then that would like help the contractions, not really help the contractions, but would help me get through the contractions easier. So they did all that. I was on that for like 3 hours, and then they finally gave me the epidural. They wouldn't let anybody go near me though. Like, it was only the nurse and then the anesthesiologist. And yeah, the nurse was wicked nice. I had wicked nice nurses. They were hugging me and comforting me and telling me everything was gonna be okay. And I was crying, and it was pretty rough. But so then I got my epidural, but I didn't feel any contractions, but I felt him inside of me like going further down and everything. So I asked if I could have more epidural, and they were like, no, you're too small. And I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. So there was so many people in the room. It was crazy. There was probably like 12 to 15 people in my room. But it was okay. Then when I was finally 10 centimeters, it was ready to push. So everybody left. It was only my sister, my boyfriend's mom, my dad, my uncle, and my grandpa. And then that was it. And then the nurse and the doctor. So I was finally 10 centimeters. I was ready to push. So I was pushing, and my epidural wasn't working. So I could feel everything. So I was screaming and crying, and I couldn't feel the contractions, but I could feel him coming out. I could feel everything happening, like everything. It was terrible. So I was pushing and pushing for 3 hours. I was pushing, and they had to give me more oxygen because the epidural wasn't working and it was hurting, and I couldn't breathe. So they gave me oxygen, and eventually he just came out, and I said if it went any longer, I don't think I could have done it. I was ready to pass out. I don't even remember basically anything. That's why this video is really all over the place, because I really don't remember anything. This is just what I've been told. But yeah, that's basically all that happened. My boyfriend was crying when he saw the baby come out. He was watching the whole thing. He was watching him come out and everything. And they put him on my chest, and then we cuddled, and I fed him, and my boyfriend got to hold him and cuddle him, and then everybody else got to hold him. And my labor was 7 hours. Yeah, it was 7 hours. I pushed for 3 hours, but altogether it was 7. I didn't rip or tear or anything. I have stretch marks, but nothing too bad. I could show them. So I only have stretch marks right here. These are my only stretch marks. And then I have them on this side. But yeah, that's basically it. I hope everybody liked this video. I mean, it wasn't too long, but I'm gonna insert a clip right here of me seeing my baby for the first time, and then maybe some pictures about everything after, and pictures of me holding him, and my boyfriend holding him, my dad, my uncle, my grandpa, Kenny's mom, my sister, everybody. So I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Bye.